Some people wake you up. People who have been through a lot are more dangerous than those who want power. Let's be clear, you're not normal. While others fit in, you cause trouble. When they calm down, you rise. And when they waste time on hate, you become their worst fear. History doesn't remember those who lived comfortably, it remembers those who made others uneasy. You are one of those forged in challenges. You didn't just survive. You became unstoppable. Now the world will see what you've always known. Your time has come. Keep pushing forward. Your legacy is already in the making. The individuals who resisted the odds so fiercely that even their adversaries spoke their name in awe. And you are that individual. Just by being there, you rattle the weak, reveal the frauds, and make cowards flee like cockroaches. When the lights come on, that is the reason. They run for this reason. They converse for that reason. They attempt to halt you, but do not succeed. But let's face it, you were already aware of that right now. Let's delve into the reason why no one has ever posed such a danger as you do. First of all, you didn't pick this. It picked you. This was never something you requested. You never put your hand up and said, "Choose me, life," tossed you into the flames, pulled you through the mud, and made you transform into something that most individuals wouldn't endure. You had no option. Before you even understood what war was, you were created for it. That is what distinguishes you. Others have dreams of greatness. They desire it, they pursue it. However, they fail to grasp the cost. In contrast, you were selected not due to ease or glamour, but because you were the only one capable of shouldering it. That is what sets you apart from them. They crave power. You were shaped into it. The burden of your experiences would have caused most individuals to break down, but you held together each setback, each betrayal, and every moment that should have finished. You only honed your instincts. It turned you into someone more dangerous, more focused, and more untouchable. Others gave up because of the things that made you different. You scare people because they know they could never handle what you've been through, not simply because you're loud or demanding. They are scared by your level of mental and physical strength. This path wasn't your choice, but now that you're on it, you can't go back. You've seen too much, suffered too much, and gained too much power to ever shrink again. Whether they love you or hate you, people will always pay attention to you because your very presence means that the fire doesn't consume everyone. Some people are the fire itself. This makes you dangerous. You became the only choice. Second, you make other people feel inadequate by reflecting their flaws. People don't really hate you. They hate how you make them feel. The moment you enter a room, they start to doubt themselves because they think of all the bad things they aren't. Your discipline is obvious to them, and it makes them feel bad for being lazy. Observing your progress, they begin to question their prolonged stagnation. They see your strength and realize how weak they are, but instead of using that as motivation to get better, they choose an easier path. Resentment. They will convince themselves that you are cocky or not deserving. They will say that you have changed and that you believe in yourself. Superior to them, yet the truth, they simply can't tolerate how you mirror their own deficiencies whenever they see you. It reminds them of the effort they never exerted, the opportunities they squandered, and the potential they failed to utilize. And you don't even make an effort to help them feel that way. You're simply existing, progressing, and developing. However, to them, your presence serves as a perpetual, unvoiced condemnation, a quiet indication that they had the opportunity to achieve more in their lives but chose not to. That is the reason they run for this reason. They converse for this reason. They have a secret hope that you will fail for. If you fall, it signifies that they were correct in staying small. However, if you continue to win, ascend, and demonstrate that they are mistaken, then they must confront the harsh reality that they were the sole obstacles in their path. So don't spend time fretting about those who can't cope with your presence. They were never intended to be your equals. Continue moving forward and growing, and let their own reasons make them feel stressed. Thirdly, your strength comes from the injuries that should have broken you. You never got to choose pain. You had to deal with it. Instead of breaking you, making you angry, and taking away your will to fight, they made you stronger. They made you untouchable. Every illness was a chance to learn, and every loss was a chance to get better. Every act of betrayal showed you that you didn't need anyone to save you. Most people tend to give up when faced with challenges. They succumb to stress, seek simple solutions, and assign blame to others. But you changed. You turned every painful experience into something sharp and unbreakable. You didn't just survive, you grew, and now you're not afraid of anything. That's what makes you different. Most people run away from problems, while others waste time complaining about pain. You have learnt to harness it. You transformed your challenges into strategies. As they were coming up with excuses, you were advancing. And while they anticipated that life would become easier, you transformed into someone who no longer required ease. That kind of strength is not understood by people when they look at you. Now they think you've always had it together. However, they were absent during your solitary battles. They weren't aware of the nights when you had to reconstruct yourself from scratch. They were not present when you had every reason to quit but chose not to. For this reason, they will never comprehend why you comport yourself as you do. You do not fear loss, as you have already experienced it, since you've already experienced worse. You don't fear struggle, and you don't fear enemies, as the greatest battles you fought were unseen by others. The scars they believe would impede your progress, they are the exact reason you cannot be stopped. Not only did you survive the fire, but you also became it. And now nothing is more ablaze than you, number 4. Not only are your critics moving, but they're also observing from a distance. Previously, they would ridicule and whisper about you, treating you like a joke, but now they are engrossed in everything you do. Even though they won't admit it, the same people who doubted, wrote off, and thought you would never succeed are obsessed with you. They are closely monitoring your progress, observing that you consistently rise, and regardless of the challenges you face, you never succumb to their expectations. They keep checking your ask people they know about you and your accomplishments as if they were some kind of lie. They would roll their eyes when you talked about your dreams. Now they are secretly taking notes, and the worst part is that they, unaware of their growing obsession, they will convince themselves that their interest stems solely from curiosity, and that they are merely stopping by for a laugh. However, if that were the case, why are they unable to cease their search? The truth is, they are now bothered by your presence. Your advancement demonstrates that their views of you were incorrect, that all of their skepticism, derision, and scorn were for naught, and that hurts. They said to themselves that you would fail. They kept telling themselves that you weren't anything special. However, now they are compelled to question themselves each time you succeed. If you are able to accomplish it, what excuse do they have? However, do not expect them to offer you their congratulations, though they'll keep it to themselves. They have respect for you. Now your hustle, your self-discipline, and your capacity to show them all wrong without even engaging with them are respected by them, and that's what makes them go nuts. They hope to witness your collapse, yet all they see now is your back as you advance. Allow them to watch, then allow them to remain hidden. And silent their approval is not necessary. Continue to provide them with a front row view of the success they claimed you'd never attain. Ultimately, you are the reason they lie awake at night. Number 5, you function with a degree of discipline that is beyond their imagination. Many people think what you do distinguishes you from them, while they waste hours on games or scrolling, complaining about their lives, or making excuses. Focused discipline shouldn't be something you do whenever you feel like it. It's not something you do for a week and then stop. It's a way of life. This scares them because they could never commit to it. They want to know why you're always in charge and take chances easily. It's not luck, it's discipline. It takes work. You invest the time, they refuse to. You remain consistent while they remain comfortable, while they pursue immediate gratification. You sacrifice when they see your results. It's easier for them to label you as lucky than to acknowledge their own laziness. They fail to comprehend why you reject distractions. They label you as dull because you don't squander time like they do. They say you work too hard because they are scared by the idea of that level of focus. They secretly wish they had your level of discipline. However, rather than constructing their own, they ridicule yours, the reality. They dread your reliability. They continue to wait for you to reduce your pace, to drop out, to give up. However, you will not, as this is not just a phase for you, it's your identity. And the longer you continue, the more comfort it causes them. For that reason, they keep away from you for this reason. They speak about you when you're not around. Your discipline compels them to recognize their own laziness, and rather than stepping up, they would prefer to remain in their comfort zone and act as if you are the issue. However, that does not concern you. Allow them to misconstrue. You allow them to say, you are too serious when the results speak for themselves. You won't need to say anything six. You make things that seem impossible look easy. You were told that it was impossible to do. You were told that people like you don't succeed, and then you went ahead and did it. Your effortless execution made them feel sick. That's the actual reason they undermine your credibility. They do respect your accomplishments. The issue is that you make it seem too easy. They anticipated that you would have a hard time, that you would move like a snail, that it would be a challenge for you to get through. But rather, you move as if you were meant for this. The effort that goes on behind the scenes is what they don't see. They don't witness the late nights, the sacrifices, or the discipline required to reach this point. They see only the end result. And since they cannot grasp the amount of work it took, they think it must have come easily to you. For this reason, they try to make your success seem less important. They make remarks such as, anyone could do that, or they just got lucky. They cannot accept that a person like you, whom they once regarded with disdain, could achieve such heights. But the actual reason they're angry, because if it was possible for you, then it was possible for them as well. And that is a reality they are not prepared to confront. Believing that you had some unfair advantage is easier than admitting that they never put in the effort themselves. Allow them to doubt and make excuses. Your accomplishments drown out their insecurities. 7th point, you don't ask for a seat at the table anymore. You set the whole table on fire. Once you wanted their approval, waited for an invitation, and hoped they'd see how valuable you were. But that time is over. Now you don't ask for a seat. You build your own table. You learnt something most people don't understand. The gatekeepers hold no genuine power. The ones who attempted to exclude you, the ones who accused you to feel inadequate, they were never in charge. The instant you ceased to seek affirmation, you became unstoppable. You were ignored by them. They have no other option but to acknowledge you. Now you made your own rules instead of adhering to theirs. While they were preoccupied with deciding who gets to belong, you were out constructing something so undeniable that they had to take notice. That is what frightens them. You are no longer under their control. You shouldn't feel like you need them or that they can dangle opportunities over your head. They are aware that you have outgrown them. This is the reason for their current confused behavior, the reason for their sudden willingness to back you. Why do they behave as if they have supported you the whole time? But you do remember, you recall the doors they attempted to shut, and now they're unnecessary for you. You constructed something larger than their small table, and now they are the ones who come knocking on your door. Number 8, you notice what others fail to see, what sets you apart from them. You can see the whole game, but they can only see one piece at a time. Most people react to stimuli instead of taking action. They wait for life to happen and then rush to adapt. But you are 10 steps ahead of them. While they argue today, you've already predicted tomorrow. That's why they watch your actions. They don't understand your strategy. They can't see beyond their narrow view. Instead of wasting time trying to convince them, you let the results speak for themselves. They laugh at your risks, ignore your non-traditional approach, and disregard your choices. But once everything is over, they remain composed and adhere strictly to your plan. They act like they've always trusted you. This is the reason you don't want to be validated. You are already aware of what is coming. You detect patterns emerging before others. Do you see opportunities well in advance of their becoming evident? Your understanding of human nature is so profound that you are not surprised by people's next moves. You have factored them in already. When things come together, they label you as lucky. They don't see that it's not luck, but foresight. You noticed the change coming and acted ahead of their deliberations. You placed yourself in a position they now wish they occupied. However, when they finally get it, you have already advanced again. For this reason, they remain in a state of confusion. For this reason, they have a hard time maintaining the pace. They are perpetually pursuing what you have already perfected, and their acknowledgement of your correctness comes after the fact. Let them doubt, then allow them to misunderstand. Your vision is not meant for everyone. It is meant for those brave enough to look beyond the now, and when the future comes, they will at last comprehend what you perceived from the outset. 9. You have perfected the use of silence as a weapon. A reaction is anticipated by them. You are expected to be noisy, expressive, and easily shaken. However, you choose to stay silent, and that is what renders you dangerous. Being quiet is not a sign of weakness. It's a plan. The majority of people chatter excessively. They lay bare their feelings, thoughts, and insecurities without being aware that they're providing ammunition. But you've acquired the skill to navigate without sound. You comprehend that the person who makes the most noise in the room is typically the most vulnerable. They argue and seek attention, ranting all the while as they reveal their next move. In the meantime, you take note. You allowed them to believe they were succeeding. You allowed them to reveal their cards. You allowed them to underestimate you. And when the moment is appropriate, you hit. That is what they fail to anticipate as they keep themselves occupied with ruckus, making you are collecting intel, working out your next step, and setting yourself up to win. And when they come to understand what is going on, it has already finished. Your lack of response makes them uneasy. It makes them question. They are curious about your thoughts, your plans, and the reason for your unexpected response, resp, and that uncertainty, it consumes them. People are afraid of things they can't see coming. They're afraid of someone who doesn't get angry, who doesn't respond to their insults, and who stays quiet when they're attacked. That's why you always win. You never play the game at their level. Let them talk and scream for attention. You don't have to respond. The right time will come, and you will act in a way they didn't expect. 10, they attempt to replicate you, yet the blueprint already resides within you. They once mocked you for it, but now they replicate you, and regardless of their efforts, a subpar version of you will always remain. They replicate your energy, ideas, and way of life. They borrow your words, actions, and even your very being. Yet they fall short because they didn't learn what you possess. This is what frustrates them. They stare, question, and try to understand your thoughts, but they can't copy your core because the pattern is in your blood, not your steps. They lack your fire. They don't have your instincts. They haven't been through the pain and struggles that made you who you are now. They see your success, but don't see the scars that lie behind it. They think that copying the end result will give them the same power, but they don't understand that it was the journey that changed you, which is why they will always be behind you. They are chasing something you have already outgrown. As they try to copy your previous action, you've already moved on to the next one. When they think they've finally caught up to you, you'll have gone through another reinvention. It doesn't matter what they do, the copy will never be as good as the original, and they won't be able to take what wasn't meant for them. 11. You're willing to do things that other people won't. The majority of people want success, but only a small percentage are willing to go through hardship for it. This is where you stand out. You do the things they won't. You put up with the long nights, sacrifices and pain. They choose the easy road. You take the path that breaks most people, which is why they can't reach your level. Success isn't given to you, it's earned through hard work, discipline, and unwavering dedication. But most people give up when things get tough. They complain when things don't go the way they want them to. You, on the other hand, have kept going even though it's been hard and uncertain at times, and you have wasted blood and time for this. They are jealous of your accomplishments but don't want to make the sacrifices you have. They respect your strength but don't want to carry your burdens. They love the success but dread the suffering. And this is what really makes the difference. They don't want to go through the fire, but you do it on purpose. They break down under pressure, but you do great in it. This is why they can't compete. This is why they will never understand what it takes to really be great. Greatness doesn't come from desire, it comes from perseverance. You were made for this number, 12. You've been walking alone for so long that fear has forgotten about you. Most people need distractions, noise, and support to get through solitude, but you used it to your advantage. You not only spent time alone, you learnt how to master it. While other people looked for company to escape their own thoughts, you chose to sit with yours. You faced your inner demons and fought silent fights that no one will ever know about. In that solitude, you forged an unshakable foundation. Since fear doesn't recognize someone who has been through the worst and comes out alive, it can't power them. While most people give up when they are alone, you emerged stronger. The solitude that would have killed them only sharpened you, and the stillness that would have driven them crazy made you. Clarity. You learn to be independent, think for yourself, and trust your own instincts, and now you don't need anyone else. People don't understand that level of authority. They mistake your independence for arrogance and see you as cold, distant, and uncaring. But the truth is that you no longer fear losing them. People are afraid of you because they know you will always rebuild, rise again, and come back stronger. Since you've survived the worst, you don't need approval, a crowd, or permission to move. There's nothing to fear anymore. Number 13. Your name is already resonating in places you haven't been yet. While you're concentrating on your work, others are discussing you. People who have never met you are learning about you, analyzing you, and discussing your influence. It doesn't matter how they feel about you, love or hate, they can't help but talk about you. Forget about you. That's the power of real impact. It spreads even when you're not looking. While others strive for attention, you've become the topic of conversation. Your actions, attitude, and appearance are making a big impression. The effects extend far beyond your knowledge. Some people experience emotional shifts, while others, people feel threatened, but they all know your name, which is why opportunities come your way before you even start looking. Your energy can change whole environments without you having to do anything. This is why what you've created is more than just success. It's a reputation, and reputations move faster than people do. This is the most exciting part. If your name is already making waves, there is still more work to be done. Now think about the legacy you're about to create. Number 14. You don't just win, you change the game. While most individuals strive to secure a place at the table, you transform the entire structure and establish your own dominion. Your goal here was never to fit in. Following the script was never your goal. People either love or fear you because you don't just succeed. You change the whole environment. You don't just break records, you set new ones. You don't just follow the rules, you make them, and everyone else has to follow them. Trends that you leave behind. As you move, the world adapts, people respond, markets change, and minds expand. You force people to change, even if they aren't ready to. And what about those who had doubts about you? They had no chance from the start when you became a chess master. They played checkers while focusing on competition, and now they're observing from the sidelines as you shape the future. That's what makes winners different from legends. The winner receives the prize. Legends change the game for good. What about you? You were never meant to play small. They questioned your abilities, made fun of you, and some even wished for your failure, but now you stand stronger, sharper, and harder to touch than ever, not because it was easy, but because you refused to break. You not only rose above the noise, you mastered it. You not only endured solitude, you became immune to it. They tried to analyze you, copy you, and silence you, but every action they took only showed one thing: you are unique. Your essence comes from something they don't understand. While you were playing chess, they were playing checkers. As they chased the limelight, you left lasting legacies while they looked for easy ways out. You accepted the challenges that made you great. Because of this, they can't keep up, they can't replace you, and they will always watch from the sidelines as you take charge. Your name is already in places they haven't been before they even know what's going on. Your actions are already changing the game. Rather than competing for a place at the table, you're constructing an empire. And the most exciting aspect is that you're just beginning. Your progress so far shows that you're not just another anonymous person, you're part of a rare breed that refuses, and picked one, is meant for greatness. If you're ready to take this journey to a higher level and continue to push boundaries and break down barriers, there is only one thing left to do. Hit that subscribe button and join the movement. If you thought this was powerful, trust me, you haven't seen anything truly amazing yet. Lessons and insights are designed to spark your passion, crystallize your vision, and make you unstoppable. This is where real change begins. So what are you waiting for? Don't just watch from the sidelines. Become the power that others watch. Sign up now, and let's change the game together. You aren't just on this journey, you are at the front of it.